Hello, welcome to White Birch Tarot. This reading is for Saturday, October 22nd, and really more for Sunday, October 23rd, because this is evening when I'm doing this. And sometime in the wee hours of the morning tonight, which sounds odd to say morning tonight, but you know what I mean. Sometime in the AM hours, the Sun and Venus move into Scorpio together, hand in hand. They're exactly together, which is interesting. And the moon is just about exactly 30 degrees behind them, moving from, I always get these two signs mixed up, moving from Virgo into Libra. I always want to say it the other way around. From Virgo into Libra. So it's all three of those bodies are changing signs. So we're getting ready for this intense Scorpio energy that's coming up, which I've been feeling for over a week now. And the eclipse isn't going to be yet, but it's coming up next week, or I think it's on Tuesday, so I'll do another reading probably then. But I just wanted to do a little reading on the Sun and Venus moving into Scorpio together. So I pulled some cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot. I haven't really thought about them yet, or I'll get mixed up. So let's see what we got. Oh, I wanted to start with a quote. I forgot because I don't have it written down in front of me. I found this quote and I just really like it. It's from the Gospel of Thomas, which was not included in the Bible, probably because it's too mystical. I don't know. I've read it. I think it's kind of cool. But anyway, here's the quote. It says, if I bring forth what's inside me will save me. If I don't bring forth what's inside me will destroy me. So I think that's very apropos for Scorpio season, because it's all about what's deep inside. So, okay, let's start. The first card I drew is the Four of Pentacles, and actually I'm not doing reversals tonight. I just decided. So this makes sense because the Four of Pentacles is about keeping an even keel and stability on a manifestation level. Like with your Venus is interesting, and Pentacles are interesting because they represent like material things. So it can be money, but they also represent tangible things like your own self-worth, because Venus rules, romance and relationships, and she also rules anything of beauty, anything that we value, including money. So what this is telling me is that this might be a time when you want to get your affairs in order. And Scorpio is really good at like keeping things to themselves. And I know they have a reputation for being very intense emotionally, which is true. But they're also, remember that Scorpio rules money, especially other people's money. So like inheritances, anything that's jointly owned can be coming up for you right now. And you're gonna have the desire to make sure that it's stable. So that's the first card we draw. So we're kind of, it's kind of like get your ducks in a row in that area. And then we get Judgment, which is interesting because this is usually the Libra card, with the scales. And in this deck, it's more like, the white bird flying out of the darkness. So you may be making an inner judgment. It's about balance, yes, but it's also about something light coming out of something dark. So you may be trying to find the little piece of light in something that was not so pleasant and reevaluating it. It's all about evaluation with Judgment. And then we get the Nine of Wands, which we had a couple nights ago when I did a reading, which again is really interesting because this is the new moon at the top, which we're coming to in a couple of days, which is in Scorpio, and which is followed, I think, 13 hours later by a partial lunar eclipse. So this is climbing out of the darkness again, almost. I mean, this is almost a a carbon copy image of this. You come out of the darkness towards the light, and we do the same here. And, you know, I just noticed this. Look at this. When I hold it sideways, it's like a forest of bare trees. Are they upside down? Nah, they're not really. Anyway, I just noticed that the other night. It's interesting. It's kind of an optical illusion. So we're coming out of the darkness. Scorpio forces you to go down into the darkness, into your inner self, and find what is valuable. Find what you want to keep and bring it up into the light. And you don't know if you want to keep it or not till you bring it up into the light and examine it. It's all about examination with Scorpio. Very deep perceptions. And then we get the Eight of Cups, which is interesting because the Eight of Cups is walking away from something which no longer serves you. It's leaving something behind. If you'll notice, the cups aren't exactly in great shape. So, you know, it's about finding the things that no longer serve you and discarding them. Scorpio is all about the snake shedding its skin. It's about rebirth, but remember, in order to have a rebirth, you have to have a kind of a death first. So we're going to leave something behind that is either toxic or we just don't need it anymore, whatever. And then we get the Seven of Wands, which is interesting. In the Rider-Waite deck, it's a bit of a struggle card, but in this deck, it's the victory card. It's the let me take a quick look at the book and see how they worded it here. In this deck, they call it courage and inner strength. And let me just read it to you. It says, you'll not find any strength or support from others, only yourself. It's time to be truly courageous and stand up for your beliefs. You may feel overwhelmed with caution and fear, but your internal fire will guide the way. Interesting. So, in fact, there may be something you have to stand up for in the area of other people's money. I know that's true for me right now. So I hope I'm not just doing a reading for myself here, but this is making sense. So, you know, let your internal light guide you. Courage and strength. Okay. And then the last card I drew is Temperance. And this is about balancing the energies and not getting overwhelmed with the either or business. Because, you know, when you're in, we just came out of Libra season where you're weighing things up and trying to find a balance. Now we're moving into Scorpio, which is a little more intense. And this is telling me that, you know, not to get caught in the either or trap. When you go down into the darkness, don't forget that there's always light in the darkness, and there's always some darkness in the light, just like the yin-yang symbol. And so make sure you keep things balanced. Don't go running headlong and moving too quickly into something without really weighing your options first. And also Temperance is, I believe it's got to do with Sagittarius energy, which is, you know, what we will come to after we leave Scorpio season. We'll have a month of Sun in Scorpio, and then we move into Sagittarius, which should be a little bit lighter and easier to deal with. So, let's see, what kind of oracle card do I want? Should we go to the fairies or no? I might do a couple of Wisdom of the Oracle, and then we'll see if I want a fairy or not. Okay. Clean it up. That reminds me of the Four of Pentacles that I drew at the beginning. It's getting your ducks in a row, making sure your financial, things are in order, and making sure no one's taking advantage of you, throwing out what no longer serves you. Definitely. I'm sounding like Rain Man here. Definitely. Plus, I'm an excellent driver. Okay. And then we get the card Breathe. Yeah, I really think we're going to need to do this in the next coming week or so. Actually, more than a week, because we have 2 eclipses coming up. I think there's one on the 25th. I keep getting them mixed up. It's a partial which one comes first? Partial lunar? Partial solar. I should know this. I'll look it up before next time. I keep getting mixed up. The first one, or are they both lunar? No, the first one's partial solar in Scorpio, which is not visible in the U.S. And the second one is on November 8th, which is a total lunar eclipse, which is visible in the U.S. I'm in the U.S. So, yeah, you may need to do some meditation right now because this is going to be intense. Truly, it is. And I'm already feeling it. I've been feeling it for like a week, and it's just getting more and more, which makes sense. Okay, a couple of fairy cards just for the heck of it. The Lady of Sorrows. Oh dear. You may be revisiting a past hurt. You almost can't go down into Scorpio without experiencing deep emotions. And, you know, when you go down into yourself, we all have sorrow. So I would expect that some sadness and some darkness will come up, but it will come up to be healed. Remember what I said. I didn't say it, the Gospel of Thomas said it. If we bring forth what is within us, it will save us. If we don't, it will destroy us. So there you go. And then we get the Elven Knight. Oh my goodness. I have never drawn this card before. A purple knight in the woods. I'm going to have to look this one up. He looks rather shape-shifty and magical and mysterious to me. I would say this is probably a time when we can be very channely. Pardon me for the bang there. I would think, I mean, with all this Scorpio energy and the eclipse and everything, I would not be surprised at all. Yeah, it starts out, that's what I thought. Enchantment, call of fairy, leadership. The Elven Knight summons us to heed the call of fairy. This is the male energy that can draw you deeper into the world beyond our own. Much of the energy in fairy is female, as is Scorpio. But there is a true balance of male energy there as well. Well, the sun is with Venus, so there you go. The Elven Knight, the consort of the queen, can rule equally in this land. Proud and powerful, he rides through this domain, leading the fairies in a procession that can take them from their world into ours and back again. Oh, that's so interesting. I feel like the veil between the worlds is very thin during Scorpio season, and especially now. The trooping of the fairies is dangerous to witness, but the lure of it is almost irresistible, and we wish nothing more than to follow the call of the Elven Knight deep into his realm. The danger is that once we have followed in the wake of the troop, we will not want or even be able to return to our own world and will instead be lost forever in the land of fairy. Yeah, that's a warning not to get stuck in that deep Scorpio, you know, the weepy energy of the Lady of Sorrows. Don't get stuck there. Don't get stuck there. So, what does it mean if the Elven Knight is drawn in a reading? If the card is alone, we must be aware of what our heart is yearning. Is it something we can have? Is it a hopeless yearning for something unattainable or something unwise for us to pursue? If the knight is drawn as a companion to other cards, then it can be interpreted as a driving force in our life, a need to accomplish something difficult but possible. The energy of the Elven Knight is a powerful motivator to go forward, leading the way and taking others with us on our path. I would say that since the sun is with Venus, I would say it's the latter. I would say that this is a powerful force for us to go where we know we need to go. That's my interpretation, because it comes with the Lady of Sorrows, which is telling me don't get stuck. Don't get stuck in that, don't get stuck in the sad energy. Use this whole Scorpio time to evaluate, dig up what's deep inside, maybe look at some old wounds, whatever comes up when it'll come up, believe me. But when you deal with it, let it lead you somewhere positive, because remember, we're heading for Sagittarius season. We've got the bright wand coming out of the darkness. Yes, we have to leave something sad behind, but we're coming up the stairs from the bottom, from the subconscious to the new moon, and the white bird is coming out of the darkness with all the other blackbirds, And, you know, we're starting out wanting to be on an even keel, and this is balance. So I think overall it looks positive, but again, it's kind of like what I said the other night. I really don't feel like this is too much different. It's going to be intense, folks, but, you know, let your sorrow come out, because what's inside you can heal you, but you got to feel it first. So don't forget to breathe. Okay, thank you so much. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And I will probably post again on the new moon, or definitely on the eclipse. Okay, I will talk to you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.